So today, these are things I recommend for new Guilty Gear players on day one, right? So step one, what do I recommend for new players? It's about what character to play. I cannot fucking stress this enough. If you don't learn anything about this fucking game from me, besides one thing, just one thing, it should be pick the character you actually want to play, especially if you're from Dragon Ball. Because if you talk about my YouTube channel, I know a lot of you guys are from Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball, I've said stuff like, you know, the game tells you to play certain characters. I really do feel that way. But for this game, you really should pick the character you want, because even if you have a bad matchup in this game, you will have way more fun learning the game with a character that you like, that you think is cool, that you're attached to, than playing the game than losing while you're learning with a character you fucking hate. So if you like ninjas, pick the ninja. If you're horny, pick fucking Milia, pick Giovanna, pick Ino. If you're edgy, pick edgy ice climbers. If you're fucking if you're a tier sexual, you pick Ram or you pick Soul. Just pick a character that is you. Pick it. Do that shit. Okay? Don't ask people who to play. I lied. There's one situation where you can ask who to play. Just one. When you like two characters evenly. So someone asked me today, I like Milia and Ino. That guy had really good taste, by the way. So he didn't know who to pick. He didn't know who to pick. And I was like, try them both. If they're on the same level, try them both, right? But really, 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 really try to pick the character you like. Like, there's no other way. I cannot stress this enough. I played Milia in Rev 2.0, where I think she's fucking garbage. She's not garbage, really, but I don't think she's good in that version. I still played her in that version because I couldn't see myself playing any other character. Basically until the end of the version, I was like, at the end, I was like, oh, maybe I'll learn a counter pick character to support my main character. I still want to play her. That's how deep you go. Play the character that you like. Okay. If for whatever reason you're trying to play this game and you don't have a character you like, you have two options. One, you can just not play the game. Two, you can use what the game recommends. Like, these are actually pretty accurate, these ratings of how easy the characters are. You know, like Soul's pretty easy, Kai's pretty easy. Like any of the 4-star characters, who's the 4-star difficulty in this game? So like Soul, Kai, Mei, Geo. I would also add Potemkin and Leo as not Anji, Potemkin and Leo. Leo because his offense is really, really, really good and it's really overwhelming. He does a lot of damage. And Potemkin because his offense is really, really, really good and he does a lot of damage. Yeah, this is not the game that you want to pick a character to learn the game and then switch to another character, because like if you like Kai but you want to play Zato, then Kai is not going to help you play Zato. Like, just straight up. Thing number 2, how to burst properly. This is really, really important. I am mentioning this again. You might be like, okay, you made a video about this the other day. Why are you talking about burst again? Because one, y'all niggas didn't watch it. Nobody fucking watched it. And it's really important. Somebody told me that the damage in Guilty Gear Strive specifically is too high. So if the damage in Guilty Gear Strive is too high, you need to know how to burst. So as an example, of course I'm playing Milia, right? So this baby-ass combo did 35%, and it cornered me. You should actually watch the video on burst if you want all my advice on how to burst. But there are two main things I would recommend for someone who's just starting Guilty Gear. So one, if a character is going to get a full combo, so that means not like button sweep, right? Like some type of fat-ass combo, I would recommend bursting that. I would say anything above like 30% incoming damage, I would recommend bursting. The other time I would recommend bursting is if a character has an overwhelming situation like dash disc. Oh, he DP'd me. But if anyone has like a situation like dash disc or something, like any type of one of these like strong knockdown situations, I would recommend bursting out of that because they're pretty hard to defend against. The burst is an escape. Right, so you get one free out of the scary situation, right? There are a lot of characters, again, who do a lot of damage. There are a lot of characters who focus on rush down and building the guard gauge to do even more damage. For my people in the stream, that's all we watched today, basically, because I played against Mei and Nagori Yuki today. So it's really important to burst in a meaningful way, and that's probably the easiest way to start before you get into the specifics, okay? Next would be this is faultless defense, right? Faultless defense is a mechanic that does 3 things. You must know all 3, okay? Thing number 1 is that it changes the pushback of attacks. This will get opponents off you, and it'll force them to try to like take their turn in different ways, or they'll have to use different ways to keep their pressure. If they do the same pressure over and over, you just push them out. Thing number 2 is that it will actually make you stop instantly, right? So, right? So when you notice how he slides a little bit and then blocks, so you can't really hit him out of this. Like, I'll block, but if you do this, you will stop on a dime. Right? So the way you do faultless defense is you press any 2 buttons and back. So if you want to move on ice skates like your boy, right? You dash and you press faultless defense and you will stop on a dime. It's really good for positioning yourself, baiting your opponent into pressing buttons, things like that. And after that, I would add use the dash macro if possible. So in the button settings, you'll see here, this is the button settings. There's punch, kick, slash, heavy slash, dust. There's taunt. Don't use this unless you're mean. And then there's dash. This is really, really important. I'm really surprised it's in the game the way it is, but we can use this to our advantage, right? You can dash just by pressing a button, and you can backdash by pressing back at a button. So you hold back and press a button. You can also instant air dash just by jumping and pressing the dash button. And it's basically as fast as manually inputting the instant air dash. So if you're from Dragon Ball, you will know that if you use the dash macro to instant air dash, you can't do it at the lowest height. You have to do it manually. But in Guilty Gear, they just give it to you. So if you have problems doing instant air dash in other games, the dash macro is your friend. Very much your friend. It makes some things way easier than normal as well. So I highly, highly, highly recommend doing that. And then the last thing is how to anti-air properly. This is a really big one because when you're starting this game, a lot of characters have really good air normal. So for example, let's bring Public Enemy #1 of jumping really quick to the screen. So fun fact, everyone has what we call 6P. It's forward and punch. It's a universal anti-air. If you know a little bit about Dragon Ball, it doesn't work like the 2 H's in Dragon Ball. Instead of it just being jumping straight up, so what they do is the attack has invincibility above the waist. So basically when I do this, I have no hurt box. So learning how to use your 6P actually won't just apply to jump-ins, but it will really help you. And if you get a counter hit, as you can see here, I got a hard knockdown. That's pretty important. But also, if they just, let's say they just jump block, then you push them off and you have frame advantage as well. It will also help you where in spots where there might be ground pokes that you might have problems against. We'll use Kai as an example here because he has a perfect normal to show it. There you go. Or even better would be this. This is a good way to show that the move has invincibility though. See that? It goes through her for a little bit. See that? So there are times, so you can use this move as both an anti-air, right? Which is, again, really important to anti-air. But also, if you feel like a character has really big moves on the ground and you're struggling, you might want to use 6P to beat the move. Any questions for my stream? Any questions? Any questions? That's basically the points I got.